A very familiar vacuum cleaner to both your hardened vacuum cleaner enthusiasts like myself and just people who know what a spaceship Hoover looks like. Because yes, this is the floaty one, and this particular floaty one in today's video going to come completely apart, ready to be refurbished. It's going to be one of those full step-by-step stripped down guides with any hints and tips that I know are on the way. So myself and possibly the bird, if he's going to keep talking, will get cracking and show you how to get inside. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Yeah, I thought it's about time I get started on the few constellations that I have. We may as well turn one into a full video. You are caught here. Phoenix, what are you doing? Birdo is very much awake and happy. So here it is. This will make him go away. It is the Electra plug on this one, and if I just lean over, I'm pretty sure it worked before. Excellent. This one is literally the definition of take it apart, wash it, put it back together. Hopefully. Let's open it up and see that we have no bag, which is a good job. We didn't give it a bit of a go, isn't it? And the first thing we can do is take out the metal, take out the metal ring which holds the filter on. Fun fact, I once kept the back box of a Vauxhall Maviva held up with one of these exact rings for a good 8 months before I changed the entire exhaust system because a hanger rotted off. Ha, what fun. Here is the filter. That can be washed. I mean, also be very easily upgraded, but I think for these we're going to go for originality rather than full bore upgrade the heck out of it. Well, the next thing we've got to do is get this off of this. There is a circlip in here which you can pop off with relative ease. There it is. And then this whole bar will, with perhaps a touch of persuasion, it's a little bit rusty, isn't it? Ow. Oh no, I did bring some pliers. Haha. Come on, don't twist. Oh, okay, there's 2 circlips on this. What fun. There we go. We can put those in there, and this separates from here. We can then pull on the bag seal to remove it. If you're missing this, if you bought this from the car boot and it comes like this, do not worry, it's probably going to benefit you because you take that off to fit a HEPA flow bag anyway, but that can come off. Next off is the furniture guard, and started off sort of anywhere really, and then you've got to feed it through and out of here, through all the holes, and then it comes off like so. With a flathead screwdriver, sometimes they are crosshead. It just depends on what day of the week they were made, I think. We can remove the 2 screws inside that hold on the handle. Very simple. Oh. And with that screw out, the handle can come off, and that's it. This whole top piece is stripped down. Onto the plug now, and we will take out the 2 screws holding it together. Then once the flex itself is out, all the pins can be pushed out so that the plastics can be washed, because yeah, I wash all of these plugs, especially a little bit of a special plug like this one. Hopefully the gold won't disappear too much, but it's indented and a lot of it's dirt now, so it's not going to matter. Pop the plug bits into our bird-proof parts holder. Hey Poppy, you going to come and say hello? Look? No, you're not. On to this part now, which is by far the actual part that takes the time, and we'll undo these. Well, how many are there? There's 3 screws on the top holding this together. This top piece will then lift off the bottom, revealing the motor in all of its glory. The rubber seal has elected to stick to the top of there, and again, that bit, you're never gonna bother drilling out rivets and taking all that off. Can be washed completely whole, as can that. Yeah, this is what makes these go a bit rubbish, really. It's all dried out. It's got Dyson syndrome. The rubber bits are not sticking to the sealy bits to make everything good. Right, this is the inside of your typical Hoover Constellation, or pretty much all generations, and we'll start with getting the cable out. And somebody, I think, has been in here before looking at that screw. Take the cable holder cover off, those 2 bits there. Then we shall remove the mains cable, which actually might be original. We'll find out in a second, because this all depends on what terminals are on the end of the cable as to whether it's original or not. No, it's not original. Somebody has just gone through the effort of tying stuff, or tying it around, which is fair enough. We do that an awful lot. There's nothing wrong with that. I gave it a tug. It survived, but yeah, it means that this cable isn't original. It probably means it should have had a fluted white cable. Might have to investigate that. With that removed, we can take off the cable clamp itself with its 2 screws, and then pull the cable out, and done. No, really, this is a later one, isn't it? This is still a very nice white cable. It's just not a white fluted cable. I shall have to consult with the Hoover police and seek advice professionally. Now, we'll do that in a minute, because you can push that out, but it's going to be easier when we are not hampered by this. And we shall carry on with the random screw removal by doing the other side, which means that we can take the motor out and suddenly have a lot more room to work with. Nobody's been this side. They're nice and tight. Of course you're on by literally 1/3 of a thread, aren't you? Fab. You will come out now and then unplug the switch from there. There is our very nice, there used to be a sticker there. Somebody's been here before, look, hello. Random writing, random sticker, but a genuine Hoover Constellation motor in okay-ish condition. Look at that in more detail later and concentrate a bit further on this. This is definitely a late one, because this is the cleanest, or again, somebody's been in here before, cleanest one of these I've ever seen, with a nice, decently new piece of foam to suit. If this was original, this would be falling apart, and I think you've seen me before fit a kitchen sponge. But that can be kept. That is fab. Then, oh yeah, we can't, I don't think, oh no, we can't fully get that out yet. I will rescue these screws though. Which side should we start on now? Let's finish off the side that we started, because with one more screw, the whole cable block comes off and can go in the wash very nicely. To take off the switch is a bracket look with a little dimple in the middle. It hooks around, and then when you clip it together, these hooks here are actually the back side of those clips, and they fan out and snap in. It's hilariously difficult to do, but they're ever so simple once you finally figure it out. You pop the clips and everything falls apart. There they are. This then allows us to look at our original Hoover switch. These are starting to go bad, and there are no decent replacements. Brake cleaner, contact cleaner does perk them up really, really well. Look how black my hands are already. Big caveat with these, they do like to spew out carbon dust. We shall take out all of these because I like to wash them because they do make it look nice. I'll leave that one in because that one is a lot thinner and liable to cause problems. But the other ones can go in the wash. Little spark arrestor guard, which is fine, it's just covered in carbon dust. And now we can pull this out, otherwise we'd have ripped it there. This bit sits in there. It's probably going to be easier to get at it from this side now. You just need to push it through, like so. And there is our cord grommet. And that is literally that. Done. I mean, try and tap that back a little bit. I mean, this isn't going to be paint. You're not going to see this repainted in the after video. I can never do a good job of that. But it will be cleaned up nonetheless. Right. Let's have a look at the motor. Onto our motor now, and we can peel back, and it is peeled because it's very crunchy. The sort of top mount really. Put that into there. These are tricky but easy-ish. We just got to remember the correct orientation of the way to do it. The first thing that I'm going to do though, I think I might have the wrong size screwdriver and have to change, is take out the suppressor, which we are going to throw into the bin because do not want that going kabang. These are pretty bad when they go kabang because all of the kabang goes straight out of there onto the floor. No, a collector who did that, Mr. U5096, had that happen and tells the tale whenever it comes up. Right, into this thing. Undo the screws holding the fan cover on. Not often we have a screwed on fan cover, is it? The screws taking all the time in the world to come out. You're not threaded all the way, are you? Fast forward through this bit. With the screws removed, the outer fan case can come off, which looks pretty okay. It's been wet before, but whatever had happened is now fine. Next we'll take a 13mm socket and try and crack off this fan nut, which will go one of this way. There we go. That is to stop this from slicing your hands. You've seen me do it. You've seen the scars from when I've done it at the very least. Right, let's move these out of the way. I'll sit back a little bit because we'll take the nut off. And we have, where are we? The nut. Then, oh, there are two washers. Hello. Two washers. There is a washer there. And one fan. The fans are pretty clean actually. Then we have another washer. Then this baffle fan, I suppose you could call it. Then this space apart. Oh, they are running out of width. Then another washer, another fan, and I think you're a washer that needs to come off as well. Yeah, you're just stuck on with dirt. Dirt and surface corrosion from probably a good couple of decades stored in a damp place. Oh, come on. I don't have to get a bearing puller out, do I? Just crack off. And then in there is another sort of spacer piece, but we cannot get that off at the minute. We need turn it back around and go back from the top. From up top we can undo these 4 screws now, which hold, I suppose you could call it, the bottom of the motor to the motor housing or the fan case to the machine, who knows, but there's 4 screws and there. You're not rolling around in the porch to have a look at that. See if the Victor V9 likes ants. Should do, shouldn't it? Screw number 3 and finally screw number 4. With those out, this should come off, look, and we can see that there is the remains of some sort of silicone, but that is the bottom bearing plate, I suppose. I don't know if you can change these, and I will say that now because I once drilled out these rivets, and they are long rivets that sandwich these together, and you have no room on one of the sides for bolts, something like that. It was a while ago since I did it. Oh, I have just noticed in my camera lens, look, I don't think I've ever noticed that moulding on this part before. Look, they've actually stamped Hoover into it. I've either never looked or they always have. Find out, because I've got a couple of these to do, though this is the only one that we are going to be filming. Right, that is off, and in theory we can now pull out our, I'm going to call this a pretty worn armature. Oh dear, I think it's focused. I think it's going to be okay. It'll clean up. It's not pretty, but it's not going to have a hard life anymore. I think it'll be okay. I don't have a spare either. I don't think. Oh look, 2 more screws holding, this time, the coil in. Don't slip off and skewer the coil. These are going to be quite long and probably quite stiff, and you're not turning at all. What are you? Oh, I've never seen that plastic bush there either. Oh, so this means then that they have facelifted the motors ever so. What are you even? Yes, you are. Oh, wow! I have never seen this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look, there is a nut on there, and under this random plastic cap. This is the youngest constellation that I have ever taken apart, and it is showing immensely. Now, are you just going to crack off nicely, or am I going to have to get an actual spanner? Of course you're not. With those quite seized in threads removed, we should be able to push our coil out. Can we do that? I think actually there's wiring to release first. Are you not all the way off? These are surprisingly seized in. There we go. Hello. So, what have we got? We have our coil retaining bolts with their silly little, but probably quite important, plastic covers. We have the insulators for the coil itself, which is in good, it's not dusty condition, nothing a good clean and some brake cleaner won't sort. 420, fab. And here is our motor housing really, and I can remove the last carbon brush. Here they are, look. Oh, isn't that a good sign? It'll be fine. I don't have anything better, and that's it really, because I am not removing any of this. Look, this is the mechanism for the carbon brushes. Obviously they push up there, and no, I am not undoing that. That can stay exactly where it is. So yeah, there is everything done. Hello, Puppet. Look, you going to say hello? Look, hello. Look, Oh, no. Oh, blimey. He doesn't like me moving stuff when I'm looking at it. Again, you can change that fairly easily for a top bearing should you need. And, well, that is it. Everything on our Hoover Constellation is apart. So, fairly simple, isn't it? Next time you see this, it will be washed, polished, dried, and ready to go back together. It's a bit of a shame about the rust on the bottom bit, but I'm hoping I won't blast too much paint off of that when we clean it. And see you when we reassemble it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.